While this movie is clearly a science fiction film, it is also so much more than that. It's not just about science and space, it's also about family, love, and survival, as well as selfishness, deceit, and betrayal. All of these elements are perfectly combined into a wonderful narrative with beautiful cinematography and one of Hans Zimmer's best scores. Hello, and welcome back to another installment of Film Friday, in which I review a new film every single week. This week we are looking at the 2014 film entitled Interstellar, directed by Sir Christopher Nolan and starring Matthew McConaughey. Let's get into it. The story is set sometime into the future. After years of dust storms and blight, the world is facing a deadly famine with almost nothing growing except for corn. A farmer named Joseph Cooper is struggling to survive like the rest with his children and his father-in-law. After discovering a strange gravitational anomaly in his daughter's bedroom, he finds what appear to be coordinates, which lead him to a secret facility which turns out to be run by NASA. It is there that he learns there is a plan to save humanity by moving it from Earth to another planet, if one habitable enough can be found. Given his past as a former pilot and engineer, he joins this expedition as they travel through space to find their new home. As they travel, they encounter wormholes and black holes and are heavily impacted by gravitational forces and time slippage. Unlike with many science fiction films, I found that the science behind it all played a perfect role. By which I mean it was explained, but not over-explained, and relied on to move the story forward without being the whole crux of the film. And then, of course, there's the unscientific, if you will, metaphysical portion at the end of the film, which is fascinating and intriguing in its own right. The story as a whole is an incredible one. It presents many fascinating scientific and metaphysical questions while moving forward with a story that is fundamentally rooted in a father's love for his children. And it is not only powerful and profound with a nice philosophical bent to it, it is also heart-wrenching, but in a good way. You feel the grief and the pain of the characters, but it is not overly or unnecessarily dark. It is ultimately a hopeful movie, and it is a masterpiece from a technical perspective, both in terms of the cinematography and the score from Hans Zimmer. I had the chance to see Interstellar in IMAX last year for its 10th anniversary re-release, and while watching it on a massive screen, I realized just how well done the special effects really were. It may have come out more than 10 years ago, but the visual effects have not aged at all, and in fact, look better than many films made today. This is due mainly to the fact that many of these effects were done practically and in camera, so the older look of CGI that often plagues films from 10 or 20 years ago was not an issue for this one, proving Sir Christopher Nolan right once again. And speaking of the IMAX re-release, I would be remiss if I did not touch upon the fantastic IMAX sequences found in this film. If you have not seen Interstellar yet, well, you definitely should, and if you've only seen it on streaming services, make sure to find a physical Blu-ray or 4K disc, or better yet, see it in an IMAX theater, so you can actually experience the full aspect ratio of the IMAX portions. They are truly incredible. Overall, I would not hesitate to give this film a complete 10 out of 10. It is probably the best movie I've ever seen, and if you have not seen it yet, trust me, you need to. It is an absolute masterpiece of cinema. With that being said, thank you for watching, and be sure to comment your own thoughts on this film below, and don't forget to subscribe for more movie commentary and reviews.